Hello. My name is Jess Marie. Welcome to yesterday's Coffee Grounds, where I typically talk about stories and things of my life. And this one's a little bit heavier today, and it's not too bad actually, but I feel like it's really important to share this, and especially anybody else who has had this going on. Sorry, I'm playing with my rings because I am kind of nervous. There will be medical terminology talked about in this, and definitely some minor details that people might be uncomfortable with, but pre-warning, here we go. So I found out I was pregnant March 11th of this month, and after being someone who has had miscarriages before, there's this feeling after you've had a miscarriage, there's just this feeling of like, will this baby stay? And there's this excitement, there's this total joy, but after experiencing a loss of feeling such a high joy, and even people who, I know people who have miscarried and they didn't know how they were to feel about having a child, or they have chosen to have an abortion. There's still that loss, and there's that huge dip in estrogen, or the human growth hormone within the body. So the body shifts, and it does feel that natural sadness, that natural decrease. So just having that, just knowing how excited I was to find out the positive test, and be excited and want to tell everyone and no one at the same time, and just keeping it. I barely kept it a secret to Rob. Like, I told him so quick. And I guess 2 weeks later, Monday of this week, today is Saturday, today's Friday. Monday at the beginning of this week, I started to spot, I started to bleed, and I just cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I told Levon, and he's asking me, where's your baby? Where did your baby go? And I just, like, all I could say is, I lost our baby. My son's 2.5, he doesn't know. But he sees his mom's crying, and he's like, Mommy, please stop. And I have to try to tell him why. I don't want to lie to him. What am I going to do? I got to tell him something. And it was kind of weird. I was feeling a cramps, and then all of a sudden it stops, and then nothing happens, like no blood, no nothing, which is very uncommon with my patterns of miscarriage. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I'm almost positive when I wake up Tuesday morning, like, that's it, like, baby's gone. And throughout the day, it's probably like 11, and 11 o'clock happens, and I take the dog out for a walk, and we're walking, and I feel so much pain, so much discomfort, and I call the doctor, I call the nurse, and she's like, yeah, you should go to the hospital. So I get childcare arranged for Levon as fast as I can, and I go up to the hospital, and they were able to do an ultrasound, and it's been a couple of days of I've had 2 ultrasounds, 2 samples of blood, and it's it's unbelievable. At 5 weeks we got to see a heartbeat of this little tiny tiny thing, and it's amazing because it looks like so it's about 2.5 millimeters long. When the heartbeat, it's kind of like just rapidly, just like that. And basically what had happened, and it freaked me out because I didn't know. It was all happening very slowly at over a week time. But what they told me on Tuesday, today's Friday, what they told me on Tuesday is there's it's like a subchorionic hematoma, which is essentially a pocket or bruising of blood within the uterus that attaches right near the yolk sac. And it can vary in size, but that is what causes the bleeding. And I had a dream 2 weeks ago, and I was at my mom's house, and she has a table, and there's 2 twin babies. And I look at them both and I'm like, I can't carry both to the couch to sit down. I can't carry both. So I only pick up one. And I know it seems unreasonable, maybe just a little bit spiritual in a sense. But having that dream of just looking at these two beautiful babies, and I'm like, I can't carry both of you. And just accepting that in my spirit realm. And dreams are very significant to me. I'm very I have very visual dreams, and I get a lot of things that are very meaningful to me in my dreams. And I see a lot of people, and I see a lot of things, and I go on very realistic journeys with people that I know. It's very realistic. And to be at my mom's house and to see her table and the chairs, the exact chairs she has, to see her couch, to have the dog around, it's all very visual to me. And just like these two beautiful babies, and I'm like, I can't carry you both. And I looked online, and it says that it's not a result of a twin miscarriage, but I feel very attached to that theory, that this pocket of blood, this bruising of blood that's essentially in my uterus is a twin. But I don't know if that's valid, and any doctors who tune in, you can say whatever you believe. But that's my personal experience, and that's my belief, because they don't know what causes the hematomas, and it is common enough in pregnancies. There is right now there is no threat to the baby, there's no threat to myself, there's just discomfort. And I have been cramping for weeks, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and my doctor says it just goes away. It sometimes spots, it usually just gets reabsorbed back into the body or into the baby, which and it's okay. It's not a concern. From what I'm told anyway. But yeah, it was definitely very heavy after experiencing loss with pregnancy before, and really not wanting to go through that again. So I'm pregnant. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing, yeah. If you have gone through a miscarriage or have lost your child at birth, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And I can't tell you why it's gotta be that way. People give us so many reasons that calm them, you know, so many reasons, but it doesn't change the fact that your baby is not here. And to tell you the truth, because I'm still relatively early, even just having this video is a lot. But yeah, I just I've been wanting to talk all week, and I've told my mom knows, because she watched my son during my second ultrasound, and I told one of my friends because I needed to verbally let out, and my partner Rob, my husband, he knows. But yeah, it's one thing keeping a pregnancy in because you're scared of miscarriage, but it's another thing when you're seriously scared of something being wrong, and if there was the chance that they would recommend an abortion, that's another thing. And that's a whole other fear and scare, and she didn't bring that up to me at all. She didn't talk about that at all, but yeah, I want to be consistent on this channel. I want to try really hard to be consistent, but I don't want to say it's difficult for me, but yeah, my time is kind of scattered. I get very distracted. I'm very squirrel brain. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna film today at 10:30. All the boys are out. Like I'm gonna film, and now it's 9:30 at night, and I'm like, okay, let's sit down and let's talk about it. So here we are. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. My name's Jess Marie, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Bye.